What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Dasin model Inuyasha action figure, and I would say this one is long awaited, but to be honest, this went up for pre-order like a month ago, and now everyone is finally getting it in hand. A character that we have all wanted to add to our anime collection, especially if this is something that we grew up with. Now, not wasting any more time, let's go ahead and take a look at the sexy packaging so we can bust this figure out and see what it's all about. Now for the box, you really don't have anything going on at all. You got a small window right here where you can see the figure as well as some of the accessories. You got like these wave patterns all along the side. Everything is pretty much red except for the gold lining right here, and then the word Inuyasha, and then a little bit of white sprinkled in there. But at the top, you don't have anything going on. Choking hazards and all that crap at the bottom no one cares about. Then on the back, we have an image of him just kind of looking off in the distance, which that's cool. I do wish that they would add a bit more to their packaging, but oh well. That's really it. This side is more on the maroon, almost purple-ish color, and yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and bust this guy out. Now, straight out of the packaging, the first thing I want to say is I think that we should all be happy that we live in the golden age of being an action figure collector, because I've said it multiple times, man. We've got companies like SHF, Mafex, Figma, Hasbro if you collect those, and all these other official companies just dishing out figure after figure after figure. But there's always that hole that doesn't get filled for certain characters that we want. Thus comes along these third-party companies like Dasin Model, Demoniacal Fig, Kong Studio, whoever you want to throw in the mix, and they bring along characters like Inuyasha. And oh my gosh, I'm so happy to have this, man. And while it doesn't hit every nail on the head like I wanted to, it does a damn good job at everything else. This is a solid looking figure, man. And when it comes to Dasin Model, we kind of already know what to expect from articulation and everything, so I don't think there's going to be any problems there. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a closer look at this figure so we can examine some of the details. Now, I can't imagine any company doing this figure as well as Dasin Model, man, because all the joints and everything are going to be extremely blocky if we get it from companies like SHF, Figma, or anyone else, which, I mean, that doesn't necessarily bother me. I've seen some of the Buzz Mod figures, and honestly, I feel like they're just going downhill, man. Their stuff doesn't look as good as what they first released, and that's not saying a lot, because for the price point, those figures just come off very lackluster. Now, their Rurouni Kenshin looks good, so maybe they could tackle an Inuyasha, but for now, I'm going to be extremely satisfied with this. It only has two issues that I would say I've noticed right now, and I'll go ahead and show you those. For one, the hair just kind of flares out. I really wish that they would add a hinge in there so that you can articulate this, because it is a bit heavy. Thankfully, his head sits well enough that he can still look down and everything. And then the only other issue I have is that the, I'm going to pull this off to show you guys. These little pigtails right here, they are on a ball peg, and my right one falls off quite often. Now, the left one, the one that I'm articulating now, it's fine. I haven't had any issues with it, but again, my right one does fall off pretty constantly. But other than that, so far, man, I'm just really digging this. I don't know what kind of, well, I can tell what the material is, but I don't know what they did differently with the sculpt work see, the stitch work for this figure in particular, but man, this is so good. It's so much better than the Dasin Model Yu Yu Hakusho and Bleach figures. This just all works very, very well. You have all the stitching in there that looks really good. You've got this little thing right here. I think this is where he holds his sword. I haven't seen Inuyasha in a long time, man. I really need to go back and do my research, but I do remember it's a beautiful story. Also, the head sculpt looks very freaking nice, man. That is Inuyasha to the T. Like, you can't even argue it. That is legit perfect. I love what they did with this bow right here. I love that they have different color reds, the blacks, the whites. All of this just looks so good, man. Then you got the undershirt right here, which That's just awesome, man. That they could have easily just made this one piece and kind of attached some of this under here by stitching it all together. But it's like he literally has two shirts as he is supposed to, or two kimonos. That's really good. Love what they did with the pants. This part kind of sticks out right here on mine. I could probably tuck it in, so I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. The sculpt work for the feet and everything, all really good, man. Now I got some white paint on mine. I'm assuming I can scratch that off, maybe if I use some alcohol or something to wipe it off, because it is molded in this plastic color, so hopefully. But overall, man, this is really a damn good looking figure. Like, I know Dasin Model's a third-party company, but if you didn't know, you wouldn't know. So this is great, man. Already, I'm going to say it. If you want an Inuyasha figure, this is one to add to your collection. Now, before I forget, I do want to add that they put shading in the hair. You've got some blues, some grays, almost some blacks in there. So paint on this is very great where they do it. It's not a whole lot because there's not any shading in the skin tone, which I think that's fine. That doesn't really bother me. But you got the blue in the ears. All of this just looks so damn good, man. I could brag on this figure all day. And also another big issue I forgot to tackle, I want to go ahead and get this out of the way so I don't forget it, is that the ball peg for the neck actually attaches into the faceplates, which is common for Dasin Model. But the problem is that the hair piece is so heavy, the back of the hair, it's so heavy that it's just going to fall off constantly. So whenever you're articulating this guy, be expecting that. I did want to go ahead and throw that in there so that you guys are aware. It's not bad, but the more you begin to mess with it, the more it does fall off. So yeah, that is another issue I wanted to throw out there. Now, when it comes to the height on this guy, sadly, Dasin Model did stick to their guns, meaning that this is a 7-inch scale figure. To the top of his head, he's a little bit over 6.5 inches, right there at 7. So 7-inch scale figure basically. And of course, I'll show some size comparisons off a little bit later in the video with some 6-inch scale figures as well as a couple of Dasin Model 7-inch scale figures. Articulation wise, he's gonna look up about that much. It's to the point that the head or the back of the hair will touch his back, so that's pretty much all you're gonna get. He looks down very well, and I love that they made these little pigtails articulated. That just kind of helps. Therefore, it's not just sitting there, or it doesn't get warped either. So I really like that they did that. The head moves around just fine, all kinds of tilt, turn, and all that goodness. Arms go up and out about that much, which is pretty much perfect. I'm sure there is a bicep swivel in there, or not bicep, butterfly joint, and yeah, because look at that, man. Sword swinging poses are going to be no problem. That's great. And then he does have a built-in swivel right here at the bicep, double jointed elbows that are extremely effective. Hands are going to be on the, let's see here, I'm trying to pull it off, but it looks like it's a ball peg. It's either a ball peg or a hinge. Either way, it moves around just fine. You don't have to worry about any problems coming out of there. At the torso, he moves around pretty much freely. And again, there goes that hair. Also, I'm being very careful with the articulation on this guy, just because when you have fabric like this, you don't want to move anything too fast or too quickly because you can't see the way that the joint is facing, and the last thing you want is to break it. But yeah, he leans forward about that much, back a whole lot more than forward, but I mean, he still leans forward very well. Does get a bit of tilt and turn, but careful with that because you don't want to ruin the stitching of the clothing, so I wouldn't mess with that too much. Now, kicking forward, ooh, this is where we run into one of our first big problems. He doesn't really kick forward. That's about as much as you get. He actually kicks out more than he kicks forward, so oh man, that's a bummer. That's a big bump. Actually, no, he does kick forward. I think maybe the joint in there was facing the wrong way. Yeah, he kicks forward with the left leg. So what's up with the right here? See, again, when it comes to this fabric, that's the only downside. You can't tell what's up with the joints. And now I can't really get the leg to go back. So yeah, oh man, this sucks, but it does go out. That's fine. He does have a swivel at the thigh, double jointed knees that work very, very well. Foot goes down about that much, up about that much. Really good ankle rocker, no toe hinge. So that's pretty much what you get. Now let's see if I can fix this guy to stand him back up. Now, when it comes to accessories, you don't get a whole lot, but you definitely get a fair amount. First off, he comes with a neutral head sculpt and a pair of fist hands that are kind of hidden underneath his sleeves, but they are there. He comes with his necklace, which this looks very freaking dope. Not anything special to it, but the color and everything is on point, so that makes me happy. He comes with his sword, which is sheathed, and you actually, I don't think, can pull that out of the sheath. I wouldn't, because I feel like it's gonna break. So yeah, no. Now he does come with a powered down version of his sword, which is unsheathed, and then he does come with the Tetsaiga, which actually looks really good. Of course, it's supposed to be way bigger than this, but it looks great. That's one thing I will give them. I love what they did with the fur on the sword. It's painted very nicely. It kind of has like a bit of a dirty look to it, but I mean, our boy be slaying demons and all of that, so it makes sense. Now we have a ton of hands. I love that they include this rack right now. We got a pair of like claw-ish type hands right here, relaxed hands right there, more relaxed hands right there, sword gripping hands right there, and then a pair of like reaching hands. Then I'll show them from the front as well. The paintwork on the nails for some of them could be a bit better, but it's not bad. I'm just glad that they sculpted them on there, because some companies, you know, they don't like to do that. Anyway, for faceplates, he comes with a smiling face, which is absolutely necessary. He comes with an angry yelling face. This could be for when he's fighting. It could be when he's using Wind Scar or Backlash Wave, whichever. He comes with a demon face, and this looks, oh man, I love this a whole lot. This one kind of has the eyes looking to the side. It almost looks like he's just getting ready to attack, where he spotted you and you better run. And then you have the one where, okay, I'm attacking now. It's a wrap. He's looking forward. He has eyes on the target. So in terms of accessories, this is good, man. I love it. I love all of this. And of course, he also comes with the traditional stand that we've gotten used to getting with all of our Dasin model figures right now. I swear, the more of these I get, I'm just going to continue to build a court for future Haikyuu figures at this point, because that's going to be fun. Moving on to size comparisons, here Inuyasha is standing next to a couple of my Yu Yu Hakusho figures. I wanted to do some ranges from sizes in here, but I also wanted to put the tallest ones in here. So here he is standing next to Kuwabara on the left, Yusuke in the middle, and then Kurama on the far right. And I love all of these colors, man. Of course, Hiei needs to be in here, but you guys know he's a smaller figure. Now, in case you didn't believe me when I said that this figure was 7-inch scale, here he is towering over some 6-inch goats, also including Goku. We have the Super CGI SH Figuarts Goku on the left. We have the Jujutsu Kaisen Greatness SHF Yuji Itadori in the middle, and the SH Figuarts Naruto Shippuden Revived Line Naruto Uzumaki. And I said all of those completely out of order, but you got the gist of everything. Here he is standing next to a couple of Figmas. We have the Figma Jujutsu Kaisen Greatness Honored One Satoru Gojo, the Figma Kimetsu no Yaiba or Demon Slayer Tanjiro Kamado, and the Figma Boku no Hero Academia or My Hero Academia Deku. Lastly, for some extras, here he is standing next to a Metacom toy or a Mafex comic book Spider-Man, a Marvel Legends 3-pack Daredevil, and a Jakks Pacific Supersonic. Now, this is one of those figures where I don't feel like I really have to explain why an anime fan would have to add this to their collection. Number one, if you've experienced this anime and the greatness that it is, that right there is enough reason to pick it up. But in case you haven't, if you remember waking up in the middle of the night, turning on the TV and hearing Dokubachi wa and seeing Shishomaru walking, there's reason number 2 right there. Just be a part of the greatness that is Inuyasha. This show is just so legendary, man, and to this day, I feel like it's still underrated, as well as Yu Yu Hakusho. They're just so ahead of their time, in my opinion, but the figure itself is outstanding, man. It's the only Inuyasha figure that we have that's close to 6-inch scale. Now, if you're someone who collects 7-inch scale, then it's definitely for you. But literally, the only issue I have with this guy is the hair. The hair pops off quite often. The Tensaiga, I do wish it was a little bit bigger, but I feel like if it was, that would probably cause problems. But I am going to say that that's a gripe I have just because someone's going to say, no, it's got to be accurate. And yeah, it does. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's not that bad to where it bothers me. But overall, man, that's it. The hair falling off and the sword being a bit of an issue because it's not the right scale. That's it, man. This is a solid figure, yo. And I think I paid $54 for this. Fully, well, it's not newly sculpted, but a fully articulated Inuyasha figure with soft goods, all the perfect accessories and head sculpts that you need. What more could you ask for? Like, there's literally nothing else you could ask for in terms of getting your hands on an Inuyasha figure. So, do I recommend it? Yes, 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 a million times. Go pick this up before it sells out everywhere. I do hope at some point they go back to their 12-inch or 1/12 scale figures. But for now, I got to stick with these when I really want them. I'm hoping that this line continues. I really need Kikyo now. I would love Kagome. Sango is bae. She is queen. I just absolutely have to have Sango. I don't really see that one coming, though. Miroku, Naraku, Shishomaru, my favorite character. I don't see that one coming, but I would love to have it. And then the brothers, the Demon Brothers. Oh, my gosh. There's so many characters, man. I just want them all. My boy Koga. How could I forget Koga? Like, I'm excited. Just hoping that this line thrives. I don't see this one going very far, but either way, I'm going to pick up everything. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And last but not least, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and peace out.